Imagine this. You're on your morning commute and an idea hits you. You pull out your phone, record a quick voice note, and then what? If you're like most people, that idea dies in your voice memo graveyard, never to be seen again. We've all been there. Dozens of recordings with names like Voice Memo 47 or New Recording 3. No idea what's in them. No time to listen back. But what if your voice note could process themselves? What if you could record an idea, drop it in a folder, and seconds later you have a fully fledged out Notion page including summary, next steps, action items, potential arguments against. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so I just saw someone struggling with pivot tables in Excel and it hit me. I should do something like a video comparing how you'd solve the same problem in Excel versus KNIME, like a side-by-side showdown or something, and that could be actually a series. I need to think about which problem to pick, something that relates to enterprise or even finance professionals. Okay, so the video is uploaded right now. It should appear here. There it is. Now we go into our workflow. I run this manually, but usually this runs automatically every minute. Just processes the items from the Google Drive, transcribes it. The AI agent now enhances the audio file and puts it to Notion before it deletes the file. So you can see here is my note with all the enhanced information. And here you can see it is deleted again. And today I'm going to show you how to exactly build this. If you've been following my channel, you know I'm all about practical automation. For years, that meant KNIME, and KNIME still is a fantastic tool for heavy data transformation. But the AI revolution has built up a completely new landscapes with use cases that KNIME simply wasn't built for. Things like unstructured text, giving meaning, making judgment calls. That's where tools like N8N combined with artificial intelligence really shine. So what are we using today? N8N. This is our automation backbone. Think of it as the conductor that orchestrates everything. It watches for new files, triggers actions, and connects all our services together. You can self-host it or use their cloud version. Google Drive. You probably already have this. It's where we'll drop our voice notes. Nothing really fancy required here. OpenRouter. This gives us access to AI models. They offer free credits to get started, and it's a generic service you can reuse for countless other projects. We're using it both for transcription and for the smart processing. Finally, Notion. This is our destination. This is where your processed notes will live, searchable and organized. Now I won't cover how to install N8N or set up credentials in it in this video. That would make this all way too long. But if you want a dedicated tutorial on how to do it, I'll create one for you faster than you can say automation. Just drop me a comment in the comment section below and I'll do it. Before we build, let me give you the big picture. Here's the entire workflow in N8N. It starts with the trigger that watches your Google Drive folder. When a new audio file appears, we download it, transcribe it using AI, and then send that transcription to another AI step that extracts structure, summary, main points, action items, all of that. Finally, we create a Notion page and clean up by deleting the original audio file. 6 notes, that's it. So let's build each one individually. Let's start fresh. Simply create a new workflow and add a Google Drive trigger node. This will pull a specific folder for new files. I'm setting the trigger to file created and pointing it to my audio notes folder. The polling interval is set to every minute, fast enough to feel responsive, but not so aggressive that we're hammering the API. When a new file appears, this node outputs the file ID, name, and other metadata. That file ID is what we'll use in the next step. Next, we need to actually get the file content. I'm adding another Google Drive node, but this time set to download file. For the file ID, I'm simply pulling copying it from the previous node using a JSON expression. But you don't have to code here, you just drag and drop it from the prior node. This is N8N's way of passing data between steps. After this node runs, we have the actual audio data ready to be transcribed. Now the fun part. I'm adding an OpenAI node set to transcribe recording. This uses Whisper under the hood, one of the best speech-to-text models available. The binary data from our download step gets passed directly into this node. A few seconds later, we have text. One thing to note, there's a 25 megabyte file size limit here. For typical voice notes, a few minutes each, you'll never hit that. But if you're trying to process hour-long recordings, that's a different workflow for different videos. Speaking of which, if you want to see how you can handle longer or bigger recordings like meeting transcripts, just drop me a comment in the comments section below and I'll do a video for you. It is definitely possible, it just needs a slightly different approach. Let me know if you want to see that. Now this next step is where the magic happens. I'm adding an AI agent node. This is more powerful than a simple chat node because it can use structured outputs. First, let me connect the model. I'm using GPT-4.1 through OpenRouter here. You could use other models, Claude, Llama, Grok, whatever you prefer, but I found this one gives consistently good results for this task at a reasonable cost. Now the prompt, and this is crucial. A generic prompt gives you generic results. Let me show you what I mean. If you just said, summarize this transcript, I'd get a blob of text. Not very useful. Instead, I'm giving it a specific persona plus specific instructions. For example, the system prompt starts with, you are a personal thought assistant. Transform voice note transcriptions into structured actionable notes. Be direct and practical. Avoid corporate fluff. Match the tone of the original speaker. That last part, by the way, is key. I want my notes to sound like me, not like a corporate memo. So at this page, we are skipping the rest of the prompt here, but you can download it completely for free. Have a look at the first link in the description that leads you to Gumroad. There you can get the whole workflow for N8N plus a text document that contains all prompts from this video. Now, back to the topic. Next, I'm using the output parser to enforce a JSON structure. This is what makes the output predictable and easy to map to Notion. The user prompt is simple. It just passes in the transcription from the previous step. You just saw that we skipped the rest of the system prompt. Prompting is honestly its own topic that deserves a deep dive. If you want me to show you how to write prompts that really work, let me know in the comments. Almost there. Now I'm adding a Notion node set to create database page. I'm connecting it to my Notion database and mapping the fields. The titles comes from our AI output. The content fields gets the full format text with all our sections. I also add a small robot emoji as the page icon, just a visual cue that this was auto-generated. Once this runs, you'll see a new page appear in Notion, fully formatted with headings, bullet points, everything. Finally, housekeeping. I add one more Google Drive node, this time set to delete file. It removes the original audio file so my folder stays clean. You could skip this step if you want to keep the originals as backup, personal preference. Let's see it in action. I've got a voice note here, about 30 seconds, with an idea I recorded earlier. And for example purposes in this video, this is stored on my local machine, but in the live workflow, it would come directly from my smartphone. I drop it into my Google Drive folder, the workflow triggers, transcription, AI processing, there it is in Notion. Clean title, full transcriptions with the ums and ahs cleaned up, a tight summary, concrete action items I can actually execute on, and look at these counter arguments. The AI is actually challenging my assumptions. That's the kind of output that makes this useful, not just cool. And that's the complete workflow. What used to be a graveyard is now a fully automated process that automates idea capture, transformation, and management in one nice to maintain workflow. And here's the thing, this is just the beginning. Once you have this running, you could extend it. Maybe a weekly digest that summarizes all your notes from the past 7 days. Maybe automatic task creation in your preferred project management tool. The foundation is there. If you want to see me build that summary workflow, just drop a comment. I'm planning this as a series where each video builds on the last. Now, if you want to skip the building and just grab this workflow ready-made, including all the prompts, I've got you covered. You can download the complete N8N workflow for free on Gumroad. Link is in the description. Import it, connect your credentials, and you're up and running. If this was helpful, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel. And subscribe if you want more practical automation workflows that actually save you time. I'm Kovi, and I'll see you in the next one.